All right, so we are back on the Way Concept presented by The Ring Magazine, and today Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn are facing off. If you folks didn't know, and you should know because it's one of the most anticipated rematches in boxing right now, Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn are fighting in about 11 days on November 15th. I will be live for this fight right here on my channel. Do not miss the watch party of the rematch of potentially one of the fights of the year, the first time it went down. What happens this time? I don't know, but today they have their face-off. And if we know anything about when Chris Eubank Jr. does any of these face-offs or any real position where he can speak prior to a fight, he's usually going to dominate those occasions. And it seems like that may be the case here with a sit-down with Conor Benn, because listen, Conor Benn showed a lot of people how good he could be in a ring with Chris Eubank Jr. in the first fight, but on the mic, it's really hard to beat. The parliamentary procedure. That's like an Irish version. I don't know what I was doing there. Of the Eubanks. But who knows? Maybe we get some new information here. Maybe we get some mind games being played the second time around. Can you go to the well twice if you're Chris Eubank Jr.? Can you get Conor Benn out of his element? Can you get in his head? Can you get him emotional? If you're Conor Benn, can you fight back on the mental games that Eubank played the first time and change the tone of this fight the second? Not just fighting on pure emotion, but doing so calculated. It all starts with the face-to-face, and we have it right now, the breakdown. Let's go.
Do you know what? I've come here today, and I respect you, Chris. I think you're a good guy. I think you're a nice guy. You know, you're obviously the people's champ now, so it's like...
No, I never
I'm
said
excited.
that.
I'm excited. No. You said you're the people's
Eddie
champ.
said you were the...
I don't like how we got into this thing with Conor Benn just popping off right away. I have to think this was started in the middle of them just going back and forth. And already it looks like Conor Benn is playing Chris Eubank's game. He's already, fallen into this, well, you're the people's champ. And I don't know. It just looks like we're not even 30 seconds in and he's already emotionally involved, man. No. It's like Eubank just walks him into these traps without even really doing anything.
The people's champ. I never said...
Well, listen, some people are going to love you, some people hate you, vice versa, and that's completely fine because we stand on what we believe. We are who we are. I personally think you're a bit of a I don't really like you, but I respect you, and I think you're good at what you do. Yeah, it's good. I like it.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I like it.
Well, this is...
You're going to come with it now, aren't you?
No, this is who I am.
I mean, look at Conor. He's like, yeah, go ahead, say it. Yeah, say the thing. Get in my head. Yeah. It's like, dude, we just started. Man hasn't even spoken yet. And you're like, yeah, try it. Get in here.
Uncensored. I'm unfiltered. If I see something and I don't like it or I don't agree with it, I point it out. So do you. I think I just have a bit of a, I have a more refined way of speaking and putting my point across. You think I'm a p***? That's okay. I've been called a lot worse by a lot.
Oh no, that's just
by
one
a
of
lot
many.
more people.
That's just one of many.
Yeah,
it's just one of many. That's fine. I'm sure you think the same about me.
I've heard. Well, yeah. I don't use words like. I have a bit more.
Normally, but
I have a bit more.
Class, yeah.
Parliamentary procedure.
Yeah, just say it, Chris. Get it off your chest.
In the way
Look at him.
Get it off your chest, Chris. I know you want to come with all them smart, fancy words right now.
No, well, it's.
What is going on? Conor Benn is like, yeah, tell me I'm a piece of shit. Yeah. It's like he's not even trying to say that. He's just like, I speak with better verbiage than you do because I don't like using bad words. I don't even know if Chris Eubank's being genuine here. Who cares? But like, what is Conor talking about? Come on, get it off your chest. Call me a name. Call me something bad. Say I'm dirty. Come on then, Chris.
It's not smart and fancy. It's the truth. I know how to... I have a good vocabulary.
Okay.
I went to private school before I got expelled. I did. So I learned... I
thought you was part of some gangland business in Brighton.
I mean, yeah. As a kid, I ran into the wrong circles for a number of years, but, it's...
I'm happy you're in now.
You live and you learn, I don't have the tattoos like you, but...
I'm a fan of artwork, that's all.
Yeah, what does it say?
That's my daughter's name. It means a lot to me, yeah. Okay. My kids.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I have beautiful kids. I love them. Everything's for them.
So we're here now.
so weird. They're both taking little pot shots. Chris is like, oh, you have tattoos. Does that mean you're a gangster? Conor's like, no, you're the gangster. You went to private school, but then you were running around in Brighton with gangs and all this. Like the passive aggressive shots at each other right now. Like they're not going to fight in freaking 11 days. They're doing this whole like passive aggressive. Oh, yeah, well,
We're fighting in, what, 2 months?
Oh, we should have been fighting.
That's where I'm going to start.
Couple weeks.
Because
A week.
Why are we fighting?
Oh, we should have been fighting
on November
we should have
15th
been
and not in
fighting-
September.
We should have been fighting tomorrow, Chris.
We should have.
Oh, you me, mate.
Oh, well.
Oh, no, you.
Okay, so this was filmed a couple of months ago, and they hold on to it. That's something DAZN likes to do. So this was originally scheduled for September, and for whatever reason, Chris Eubank Jr. just did not, after apparently agreeing to that date, did not and was not going to be ready for that fight. I don't know if that was because of injuries from the first fight or just some gamesmanship. I'm not sure, but they're going to argue about that now.
Oh, well.
Oh, no, you're too busy playing in the casinos and living that lavish life and...
Me living the lavish life?
Oh, no, I just went on holiday with my family, that was all. Been a tough 3 years, so I just went on holiday with my family.
What was that car you bought with the money?
Oh, the weight money, mate, that's... You know, me, every time I jump in there, yeah, and I smell pain.
Yeah.
Did you arrive in it today?
Yeah, of course I smell pain. I smell undiscipline. I smell... Yeah.
Sabotage.
I smell pain.
That's
I
what
smell
I smell.
pain. I smell pain.
I smell
I smell pain. I
sabotage.
know that hurt you as well.
I smell a
Every
setup.
time I jump in that rolls, yeah, Chris, I'll go, thank you, Chris. Thank you, Chris.
I'm happy for you, you know.
No, so thank you. I'm saying thank you to you as well. I'm grateful.
Enjoy it. You know, what I...
Dude, Conor's all over the place. He's saying like, oh yeah, I smell paint. He's talking about the Rolls Royce he bought with the money he made from Chris Eubank Jr. missing weight by like a 1/10 of a pound or like a 1/5. I don't remember what the terminology was, but he barely missed weight. And the BBBFC, the British Boxing Board of Control, fined him like $500,000 and gave it to Conor Benn. And from that, Conor Benn made, I guess, a purchase of a Rolls. And he says, I smell pain when I get in the car. I smell undisciplined. I wonder what undisciplined smells like. It smells like undiscipline in here.
I've learned throughout.
Like, what is that? I think Conor Benn is trying to out Chris Eubank Jr. I think he came into this time around with the idea that I'm not going to get emotional. I'm going to try to outwit him. I'm going to, play the mind games with him without getting emotional and do what he did to me the first time back to him. And I don't think that's working. And I don't think that's his style. I don't think that's his game. I think Conor Benn just being himself is probably his best bet as far as these little back and forth verbally go if he has to do them. Because when you talk to the guy, he's a genuinely good conversation and he seems like a bit of a more humble individual. And I know the PED allegations in his past, they're never going to be dropped in the minds of the UK fans, but I've interviewed him, and he's a great guy to talk to. I've spoken with him outside of the interviews, and I genuinely like Conor Benn. I don't mind saying it. I think he's a good dude. But when you try to play the game that Chris Eubank Jr. is a master of and these kind of mind games back and forth, you're going to lose that. I would just rather Conor be himself than go down this path. Sure, if you get a little emotional, own that. Conor himself has said, I'm a dude that fights with my heart on my sleeve. Where's my heart on my sleeve? Do that. That seems more genuine than like trying to play the middle games and lose them.
My life is that material things don't really mean...
Mate, yeah, it's so rich coming from you sitting there with a Gucci jacket and a chandelier kettle.
Well, listen, I
Come
need
on,
to
mate.
look
No,
good.
listen.
I need to look good for the cameras,
please.
but
Just
at the end of the
stop.
day,
Now you're talking.
It doesn't make me happy. I can see that the material things you have,
No.
they really do make you happy.
No. I live the blessed life just like you, Chris.
What makes me happy is winning.
Yeah, what makes me happy is spending time with my kids. So
What
I took
makes
them on
me
a nice
happy is
holiday.
dedicating my life to a sport and showing
Well, why
the
was you not
world.
ready September 20th? Genuine question.
I was ready.
Well, you
but-
wasn't because
but
the
I
fight
don't-
fell
I
through.
don't
We had
need-
Wembley booked.
I don't
and-
need to fight when you want to fight.
No, it's not when I wanted to fight. It was when we all had agreed. You and your team with Turk
didn't
Al
it happen,
Sheikh.
Chris?
A genuine question, because it was all agreed. Wembley was booked, by the way. There was maybe, 6 weeks of negotiations. The date, venue set, booked. Asked me if I was good for that date, no problem. What happened, Chris?
I decided that I didn't want to fight on September 20th because you did.
I wasn't, to be honest. I'll be ready
No,
I'll fight you
you are.
tomorrow.
I saw every
I'll fight
interview.
you right now.
I'm ready for Sep 2020.
Yeah, but I was ready for whenever. I'll fight you
hold on.
now. I'll
This
fight you
kid wants-
tomorrow.
I am kind of with Conor on this one. Now, again, Chris is the winner, so he can kind of dictate a little more about when he wants to fight. He's kind of the A side at that point. But I'm with Conor. Like, if everything's agreed upon and we got the venue ready and the date's set and everybody's done it, and then you change your mind last minute, you know, that's kind of that's weak shit, you know, like we're trying to get this thing done. We're trying to keep fans involved and have them interested in this rematch, and the longer it goes, and potentially, you know, you never know what can happen. That part of it I agree with Conor on. Chris should have honored the September 20th date, but he is the winner of the first fight, so if he wants to play the A-side games, he can kind of do that. To the victor go the spoils.
The fight's up 20th, so you know what? We're not going to do it. I don't give a damn when this kid wants to fight. We're going to fight when I want to fight. I won. I don't have to march to the beat of these people.
Would you say that's the genuine reason?
It ain't the reason. It is.
What would you say was the reason?
Listen, you don't. It was announced September 20th. It was announced September or straight after the fight. You're just coming out with some nonsense. I mean, you went to a doctor and had to submit medical evidence to Turk Al-Sheikh or the team or whoever it was to make the fight happen. So you weren't definitely going to be ready for September 20th. So you jumped your little flight back to the UK to have a meeting to rearrange the fight. I wanted to push on for world titles, Chris. So really, I'm delaying my world title.
Yeah, we want to delay.
But I want to get a world title, one like you.
We want to obstruct.
I want to get a world title, one like you.
So again, yeah, this is clearly Chris playing mind games with Conor Benn, and he's not realizing. He's like, yeah, good. You don't get to go and play and chase world titles. Good. You're obligated to this rematch, and we'll do it on my terms. And Conor Benn's upset about it. You can see he's frustrated, and all Chris Eubank is doing is like driving the knife in further. Like, good, I'm glad you're upset. I'm glad that you had to delay your plans. I'm glad that all of your world title aspirations are put to the side because you have to fight me because I beat you. Remember, I won the fight. Again, these are the type of things I don't think Conor should get into, even giving him credit, being like, oh, you know, I wanted to fight you, and I'm trying to do other things, and here you are doing, because all he's going to do is feed Eubank Jr. All he's going to do is feed Chris to be like, yeah, I know that you had to wait because of me. I know you can't go and fight world titles because of me. I want that. I want you to delay further. I want to get you more emotional. I want you to be more frustrated because that's the way you'll fight. All this stuff you're doing to act like it doesn't bother you, I know it does. And come fight night, all that pent-up aggression and that emotion, it'll come out. That's exactly what Chris is doing here.
My next bout,
people don't get what
my next bout, Chris, is scheduled at 147, just to let you know, just in case you're confused whether I'm a 160, 154, it's scheduled at 147.
We're doing the weight talk again.
No, I'm just letting you know, Chris.
Oh, look at me, I've got to jump.
No.
You haven't been a work weight for 4 years.
Listen, your last fights, 4 fights were at 160. Didn't see you wrapped up in a kit for any of them promos or documents, did you?
Listen, the way I lose weight is the way I lose weight.
Oh, then it was unprofessional because I'm driving in a brand new roller because of it. So thank you. Hope you do it again. Hope you do it again. I'll buy another one. In fact, I'll buy your plate off you. I'll buy your plate off you and stick Eubank on there as well.
When you have a sabotaged weigh-in,
oh, shut up.
You miss weight.
No.
When did you say?
Wait, why would you
say to the fact?
Why would Conor buy a new Rolls Royce and then put the Eubank's plate name on it? Wouldn't that just, I mean, again, who knows what'll happen in the second fight? Wouldn't that just reaffirm that Chris Eubank has space in your head if you buy a new Rolls based on the fact that he was supposed to miss weight again and then put his name on it? The trash talk should be, yeah, I'll take that 500 grand, then beat your ass. Then since you stopped me from winning a world title, I'll have a belt made with a picture of your face slumped in the canvas on it. Something like that kind of demeans him. Not like, yeah, I'll buy a car and then put your name on it. Like you own the car.
Conor says he's going for world titles. Not even bothered about world titles. What's your rebuttal?
It's not that I'm not bothered. You know, it's easy to say I'm going to do this and I'm going to win this world title and I'm going to get this opportunity. Boxing is a very political sport. Sometimes it doesn't matter how hard you want a world title. It doesn't matter if you're in a position. I've been interim world champion before and still not gotten those title shots. At the end of the day, I'm a fighter. I want to fight. I want the big fights that the fans want. If it's not a world, I'm blessed to be in a position to where I don't have to fight for world titles to have the big fights. But does that mean I don't want to become a world champion? Does that mean I don't want to fight for world titles? Absolutely not. After I dispatch this kid again, for sure we're looking to get world titles.
Dispatch, was it?
Well, you know.
Yeah, Chris Eubank Jr., as much as I like him, I think he's a wordsmith, and I love this rivalry between the two of them. I think it's been well established that Eubank Jr. has never been at world level. And I don't mean that disrespectfully, but like every time he stepped up to what potentially could be world level, he got put back down. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but as far as we're talking about world titles, out of the two of them, Conor Benn probably, I mean, looking at the titles at 147, we'll see what happens with this Mario Barrios, Ryan Garcia thing, but he's probably the most likely, unless a guy like Devin Haney or Brian Norman Jr. wraps up all the titles at 147, he's probably the most likely to get a shot and maybe actually win one. I wouldn't count on Chris Eubank Jr. winning a world title in his career. You still don't know the answer about Conor Benn, but out of the two of them, Benn might have the better shot.
No,
Wasn't
it
quite
was
dispatched.
it was a convincing,
Just be honest.
comprehensive beatdown.
You jumped down on the floor like, thank God I won that title. Thank God I won that.
Well, it wasn't for a title.
Oh well, thank God. Well, your IBL.
Come on, Conor, man. Come on. This is like a fight. I'm telling you guys. That's a jab right there that Chris Eubank Jr. landed. Just a quick jab, just a hot. And Conor just giving it to him, just like the first fight. He gave away too many jabs, too many free punches to try to land haymakers. And then this back and forth, his haymakers ain't landing. The motherfucker is saying stuff like, I'm going to buy a car and put your name on the license plate.
Well, it wasn't for a title.
Oh well, thank God. Well, your IBL World Champion at 160, ain't you?
That's right.
Well, thank God I kept my title.
That
Thank God. Let me fall to the floor, and because I won so convincingly, let me fall down to the floor and just, you know, like.
It was a release.
I was a release. I'll go, yeah.
The amount of.
You seem surprised. You seem surprised, in my opinion.
There was no surprise.
You seem very surprised.
The amount of I had to go through to get to that stage. It was 3 years of build-up. You know, obviously he failed his drug test with the fight before, so then. All of these years, I'm thinking about the fight and talking about the fight and training for the fight. It's a lot of pressure that builds up. I was releasing the pressure once they raised my hand. Now...
You feel pressure, Chris?
Pause. All that pressure releasing. Yo.
Now...
You feel pressure, Chris?
There's definitely pressure. You do feel the pressure. You know, we're walking out in front of 70,000 people. There's a pressure, for sure. I'm not going to let you see it. I'm not going to shout and scream and throw my toys out of the pram like you and Eddie do. But
how's that?
What do you mean, how's that?
It's a good point, and this is pretty crazy because Chris is giving him the game right in front of him. I don't know if Conor realizes it yet, but like even asking the question, do you feel pressure? Conor knows the answer to that question. He, just like Chris, knows the pressure and the stakes of that first fight and this second one. Of course there's pressure. Every fighter knows going into a massive fight there's pressure. But that's what makes combat sport. That's what makes any sport worth playing or doing. Really anything in life. You feel pressure, it's because there are moments in your life where if you make the right choices, if you put yourself in the right positions, there's going to be pressure because there's expectation, right? And just like for this fight, there was expectation for both fighters. And Chris telling Conor Benn, yeah, I feel pressure, but I'm not going to let you see that. He's telling him what Conor needs to be doing because all Conor does is give up all his emotions, give up everything while acting like he's not doing that, while acting like he's not gonna, and Chris feeds off of it because he sees it.
Look at the things you've done and said throughout over the last 5 months.
Like what?
Like every interview
Like
that
what?
you've done.
No, enlighten me.
Well, listen.
No, enlighten me, Chris.
The fans
Chris.
know.
No,
The fans
enlighten
know.
me.
I
I actually don't even know what you're
need
talking
to-
about. What it is I've said that's got you all... Don't know, you're obviously thinking about it. It's been 5 months
You're
worth
an,
of
you're
things
an
I've said.
emotional guy. You
I'm
wear
an
your heart on
emotional
your
guy.
sleeve, as you say.
Yeah, of course, yeah. What have I said? What have I said that's really hurt your feelings to bring it up today?
Nothing.
Nothing.
And that's the thing.
Oh, okay.
You can't hurt my feelings.
But I'm not bothered about
it. Doesn't
hurting you.
matter
As
how
long as
many
I put you in
times you call me a
hospital
or an idiot.
I don't mind. That's
big
my
head.
hurting. I don't care about talking. I don't care about talking.
Well, that's
my
what you
hurting is punching you in the face. That's my hurting, putting you in hospital.
And how did that go for you the last time?
Pretty good. You're in hospital sipping food for a straw.
You lost
and you broke your
convincingly.
toe. Yeah, you broke your toe?
But that's the type of shit that Conor needs to get in his bag with, you know? Like when he's saying the hurting I want to put on you, I don't care about the words. I want to smash your fucking face in. That's the type of shit he needs to be on. That's the type of shit his dad was on. When we were talking about parliamentary procedure, Nigel Benn was like, I'm going to punch through your face. And that's real. And that's why he should be that way instead of doing this like, oh, you know, I'm not hurt by it or I'm not this. He should tell Chris, yeah, okay, you won the fight. Some judges thought you won the fight, but you and I both know that when I punched you, you felt that shit. And that's why you were in the hospital with one side of your face being enlarged like you had elephantitis on the side of your head. Something like that. You might have won the boxing match, but between you and I, who came out of there more hurt? Who came out of there more busted up? And guess what? I'm going to do it again this second fight. That kind of shit is how Conor Benn could get in his head.
Well, we're not gonna spend too much time talking about
So
the
no, I'm
toe.
just saying his tone. I like that. It's good.
Well,
I like that.
Listen, when
I like that.
the amount of the dehydration that
shut
I
up.
experienced,
Dehydrate. Shut up.
my toenail fell off.
Chris,
How
do you know what? You
incredible
see,
is that?
do you know what? I've got to take my hat off to you. Because you see, moving forward in my career, I will take a leaf out of your book and how much you talk, but it obviously convinces some public. I rate it. I would shake your hand.
when it actually happens. It's like when
No,
Eddie
no,
said,
no.
it's like when Eddie Hearn says that it didn't happen, that my ambulance was stopped
No, it didn't
for 20
happen,
minutes.
Chris. You can't.
Okay, this was crazy, but Conor shouldn't do this. He shouldn't take he said a leaf out of Chris's book. I don't even know what that means. But he shouldn't take a page out of Chris's book and try to be Chris Eubank Jr. because he fought him. Like, okay, maybe you can add some shit talk to your game, but I think that, again, I just think he should be him. Be himself. Because he himself, when he's speaking from the heart, is a genuinely more likable, more understanding fighter versus trying to do the shit talk and trying to do the mind games. That's not him. So he shouldn't take a leaf or a branch or whatever else out of Chris Eubank Jr.'s tree or plant. I don't know what the hell's going on.
It's like when Eddie Hearn says that it didn't happen, that my ambulance was
No,
stopped
it
for
didn't
20
happen,
minutes.
Chris. You can't say that.
It's documented.
You can't say that,
I can
Chris.
say whatever I want.
Like, I was in hospital. I was on a drip. I was in a bad way. I was dehydrated. It's called a fight.
What's that got to do with
Because I
people
was
stopping your
dehydrated.
ambulance
No one
from
stopped
leaving?
your ambulance. No
Okay,
one stopped your
when I
ambulance.
put the footage out,
I put the footage out.
when the CCTV cameras
Put the
come
footage
out,
out, Chris.
when the lawyers get involved, then you're going to
Chris,
shut up,
Chris.
aren't you?
I'm looking forward to it.
I don't have-
No, but no one cares
I know.
enough about you, Chris,
But
to stop your ambulance.
The thing
mate.
is, when these things happen, you know, Eddie and Conor, they like to kind of shut it down.
No,
He's just talking, he's just doing this. But the truth of it is, I don't have any reason to lie. I won the fight. I'm not the
All
vic-
I hear is
I'm not
excuses.
All right, so let's talk about this. Chris Eubank Jr., and this is a weird point he's tried to make coming into the second fight. You know, as much as Chris has dominated the trash talk and he's dominated the narrative around the first and now second fight, one of the most odd things that he has alleged is that Eddie Hearn stopped his ambulances from leaving the venue and going to the hospital. What he's alleging in this face-to-face back and forth is that Conor and Eddie won't admit that his ambulances were stopped. That's not what he alleged to begin with. He alleged that Matchroom and Eddie Hearn stopped his ambulances because they are in control of the event in some way. It's their event when in reality this event was put on by the Ring magazine, and both Matchroom and Boxer were also affiliated promoters with the event because those are the two promoters of the two people in the main event. Chris has come out with footage and we're going to take a look at it, and I want to remind you the claim from Chris was that his ambulances were stopped by Eddie Hearn and Matchroom. Like it was some sort of ploy to not let them leave and go to the hospital. But what Chris is saying to Conor is that his ambulances were stopped, period. That isn't the fault of Eddie Hearn or anybody else on the promotional side. But anyway, here's the footage.
The doctor walked us through the ambulance.
That isn't evidence that Eddie Hearn stopped his ambulance from leaving the venue. Whoever the event workers were, or whoever the security team is, or whoever's in charge of opening that door, yeah, they're at fault for not letting an ambulance leave with a fighter that's in desperate need of medical attention. But that's a crazy accusation to levy on Eddie Hearn. And by the way, if he believed that Eddie Hearn and Matchroom or whoever the event runners are, I mean, the Ring magazine is putting on this event. If he believed that, why would he then come to do another event with those same people? Chris is very good with his words, very good with the middle games, but this one he's kind of bent himself into a pretzel over to try to justify something that really isn't happening. Especially not Eddie Hearn trying to like sabotage his way to the hospital in hopes that he dies. I don't know the accusation or what that would even mean. That one's a weird one.
The victim.
I made no excuses. No, 13 months out of the ring, first fight at 160, first weight. None of that. I don't care.
All you had was
but I don't
excuses leading
care.
up to the fight.
But
How
I
many
don't
times
care.
did Crawford talk about his weight
I'm not
jump?
Crawford. You're not
That's
Canelo.
right, you're not
I'm
Crawford.
You're not Canelo.
You're
Do
a
you mean
man
that's for all
that
the
had
titles.
to
That's for all the
put
world
rehydration
titles.
clauses
That's for all the
into a
world
fight,
titles.
'cause you were
Gervonta
scared that
Davis,
was
Ryan
gonna be
Garcia,
too big and too
rehydration.
strong.
No, you guys agreed to rehydration. I'm not jumping up 2 weight divisions.
But did
What,
we
for you?
ask you for it?
For you. For you.
Did we ask you
think
for it?
For what?
For a rehydration?
Conor said, I'm not jumping up 2 weight divisions for you, and that's exactly what he did. I'm not jumping up 2 weight divisions for you. I know you did. What he means is he's not jumping up 2 weight divisions without a rehydration clause. I am never in favor of rehydration clauses. I think they're very stupid. I think they're deliberately in place to benefit one fighter over another. This one's a bit of a weird one because Chris has fought at 160 multiple times without the rehydration clause. Conor's never fought there, so Eddie's just looking out for his guy, but it is detrimental to a fighter's health to be asked to not replenish the weight that they are draining themselves of and the water they're depleting from their brain for a certain amount of time just a day before they're about to fight. I'm never in favor of that kind of stuff. But this one's a little different because Chris is comparing this to Terrence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, and I think it's a little bit of a different subject because Canelo was never quote-unquote bigger body-wise than Crawford was, so there's really no need for a rehydration clause there. Had Crawford fought someone like David Benavidez, would you have seen a rehydration clause? I'm not saying there would have been, but it would have been a different conversation. And, you know, in this case, Conor does have a point about it not being for world titles, so why would he jump up and just do this without having something to even the odds, right? It's not like he's challenging himself for a belt. He's challenging himself for the rivalry of their fathers. So I get it on both sides, but the rehydration clause talk and the weight talk has honestly burnt me the fuck out on all of it. I'm kind of done hearing both these guys talk about the weight. That was, you know, a topic of conversation the first time around, but we already had the fight, and both guys already made the weight. Well, Chris didn't make the weight, but he ended up making the rehydration, so let's just leave that in the past. You both agreed to do it again. Enough is enough with it.
But I'm not fighting you for no belts. I'm fighting you because I want to punch you ready.
You guys were sure that if I didn't have these disadvantages, you would have no shot.
Listen, Chris, if you're the A side,
Good point by Chris.
if you're the A side, yeah, if you were the A side, you'd negotiate. Your team wouldn't allow that. Your team wouldn't allow that.
We got
okay,
paid.
well then
that was the negotiation.
Where's the thank you?
Okay,
That's
if
it,
you
done.
guys are begging
That's
me
it,
for a
done.
rehydration course, you can pay me.
No one begging.
You begged.
No one begging. No one begged.
And we gave
Why
you
didn't
what
you guys
wanted.
document it or bring it up in this time round? It wasn't even a topic of discussion. Why don't you bring it up? If it was really an issue and really a big health concern, why not bring it up?
I won the fight. I don't
No,
want to
okay, well,
have to bring
exactly.
it.
Shut up then.
What do you think of his lifestyle?
Love that cut. Shut up then. I mean, true on both sides. I think Chris is the A side because he dictated when the fight was going to happen. He won the first fight, but Conor's being honest too. Like, yeah, if it was such a big concern, you wouldn't have taken the second fight at the same weight with the same rehydration.
What do you think of his lifestyle?
I rate it. Listen, I don't really just do all that stupid thing with your eyes all you want.
Conor is so wound up. Chris just makes a face. Yeah, make your face all you want. I rate it.
I rate it. Like, listen, if you can live good and party and play in the casinos and all that and waste your money, I'm happy for you, Chris, and still beat me. I'll rate it. That's impressive because I'm in the gym all the time. I'll rate it, Chris.
Yeah, that's what
I take my hat off to listen.
That's all I'm doing. I'm in the casinos.
I'll
I'm
take my hat
losing
off to you.
$4 million to Neymar. I'm partying.
Yeah.
I'm
Lost
doing
500 grand to me. 10 grand to the board,
paying
20
all
grand
these
to
Might be a little bit more to the board
lawsuit.
after the press conference.
Yeah,
Chris,
I'm sure people are going to try and sue me again after the press conference, and that's okay. What's more important to me is shining a light on the.
I want to talk about.
What? Did he say shining a light on the pussy or the bullshit? I have to try to read his lips.
Shining a light on the.
Okay,
the bullshit. I thought he said the pussy. I was like, yo. Okay, all right, that makes more sense.
I want to talk about the first fight.
Fuck, bro.
You said you were going to knock him out early. You were going to take him out. You believed it.
Yeah.
You were going to take him out in 3 rounds.
He didn't.
You could not believe after the fight that you didn't break him early. You said that they were your words.
Yeah, that's true.
I genuinely thought I'd knock him out.
That's not
Genuinely.
true. That's not
But how's that not true?
Because it's not true.
How's that not true?
Because
I thought I was going to...
It's just, it takes no effort for Chris Eubank Jr. to just wind up Conor Benn. He's just, he's so upset that Chris doesn't believe that he believed, that Conor believed he was going to knock him out. Like, Chris has to believe it because Conor said it in Conor's mind. Like, what do you mean it's not true? You don't even know who I am. You can't even, you're not in my head. You're not in my, you know what I'm saying? Like, dude, who cares if he doesn't believe you did or didn't think that? Who gives a shit? Like, all right, cool, I'll show you this time. And leave it at that. But he's like, what do you mean? How could it not be true? You don't know my thoughts? And look at this face from Eubank. He knew.
But how's that not true?
Because it's not true.
But how's that not true?
Because
I thought I was going to have you face down on the canvas.
You know for a fact.
How can I know that for a fact? Liam Smith done it.
Yeah,
How can you say no?
listen.
I know that for a fact.
That was a 1 in a million.
1 in a million.
That was a
One in a million. But it still
situation.
happened, didn't it?
Yeah, it did happen.
Well, exactly. So you can't
But
deny that.
the fact
You got
is-
banged out by a light middleweight.
No. The
So-
fight finished with me
So
on my
how can
feet.
you tell me? So how can you
gonna
I
put
didn't
me
think.
then?
But how can you tell me what I'm thinking when you've proven to be knocked out cold on your feet?
Yo, what is this mental exercise Conor's going through? You said knocked out cold on your feet. That's crazy. Can you imagine someone being out cold, standing straight up? That's wild.
So
The fight finished with me on my feet.
Cold. You was out cold. You couldn't tell me what day it was.
Out cold is you're on the floor. The referee says no more.
You could not tell me what day it was.
Stood up.
You couldn't tell me what year it was.
I said to the referee, "Let me fight, my friend. I am ready to go."
You're lucky,
He waved it off. I said, "Okay, you know what? The fight's over. I can't stop it. I'm gonna walk over to Liam and stand in front of his face and let him know."
You understand what sort of walk that was? If I was your person, would have just taken a seat, sit down.
You know that I'm ready to go.
No, Chris,
that's what happened in that fight.
Chris, come on, give him credit.
He knew that he was never gonna knock me out.
But you couldn't believe after the fight that he had the heart and the grit. You thought you would break him.
I did. I thought I'd break him. I thought he would quit. Because that's what cheaters do. People are forgetting now that this guy is a drug cheat. So when you have that type of mentality to where you take steroids to try and improve your performance, that usually means that when you get into tough situations, you're going to revert back to your cheating mentality, which is,
I love this. I love it.
I don't want to be here anymore. I'm going to find a way out. I give up. So
I thought
by the 5th or the 6th round, he's going to feel the heat, he's going to feel the pressure, and that cheating mentality he has is going to kick in and he's going to look for a way out.
Boy, was you
Somehow,
wrong.
this guy found it in himself to stay in there and take his ass beating.
I rate it.
And for that, I'll give him his credit.
I rate it. See, you're doing it again, Chris, but I rate it.
He wasn't a Billy Joe Saunders.
So I like this because it's Chris's way of just, again, trying to get in Conor Benn's head, like, yes, the first fight, he did better than I thought he would. He survived, even though that was a good back and forth fight. It wasn't just, the way that Chris is reframing this fight is that Conor just survived the fight, which is not true. It was a good back and forth fight. Chris won, and he won by a number of rounds, but it wasn't an ass beating by any means. It was a great fight that Conor Benn not only had moments in, won rounds in, and even late in that fight was still dangerous and still putting it on Chris Eubank as Chris Eubank was putting it on him. Good back and forth fight. But you see the way it's been reframed now that, like, oh, I didn't think he'd last. He'd go back to his shooting ways. But no, he stood in there and just got his ass beat, right? I like it because what it does is subliminally tell Conor Benn, okay, this is how the fight's going to go again, except this time I'm going to be maybe more calculated, more slick, whatever Chris Eubank wants to be in this second fight. Telling Conor, no matter how committed you are, at the end of the day, still a drug cheat. And also, even when you were fully committed, you were fully locked in, you thought you were going to knock me out, I still took you into deep water and got you.
Billy Joe Saunders, these guys, they get hurt and they look for a way out. He was hurt, he was tired, and he stayed in there. So for that, I will give him his respect and his credit. Still a drug cheat, but you stayed in there. You stayed in there. You didn't give up.
Who's got more to lose?
Hold on, no. Look, we've got to acknowledge what he's doing there. Working, Chris.
Who's got more to lose?
It ain't working, Chris. See
Who's
these
got more
antics,
to
yeah?
lose?
I got your number.
I won the fight.
I got your number.
I don't need
Chris.
to be here.
I got your number, Chris.
You got my number.
I got your number, Chris. See all these antics and all that. Well done, you got in my head first time round. Well done to you.
It's not antics.
Well done to you.
It's the
ain't
fight
working.
game.
Ain't working.
It's the fight game.
Ain't working. See these mind games that you try and do.
And you're learning.
This is where he's got to revert back to.
field.
This is where you got to revert back to try and get under my skin.
Truth.
Say what you like. Say what you like. I'm going to systematically beat you.
I mean, he keeps saying it's not working, but it seems like it's working pretty well. I mean, Conor recognizes that Chris is playing with him, that he's trying to puppeteer this thing, but it's still kind of working. He's still got him gripping the fuck out of that chair, and he's like, oh, it's not working. It's not working. Just if he's trying to hold back the emotion, I think he should just let it go at this point. Just fucking be emotional. Just get up and throw the chair, I guess, because at least that's better than holding it in and trying to act like it's not affecting you. You know what I mean? And again, do I think it'll have any effect on the fight? The only thing I think that these mind games potentially could have on the fight is that you go into the second one, if you're Conor Benn, trying to be more tactical and technical, and you lose that ability to mix it up or be in the fire, and then you potentially are not as technical or tactical as Chris Eubank Jr. with Womack in the corner, and then it's even worse potentially of a fight than the first one is, because you're a little bit more stagnant, measured, and hesitant versus going out there and leaving it all in the ring. Again, not saying that he has to fight the same way he fought the first time, not saying he has to be as reckless, and there was damn near no jab set up as the fight went on. He went away from his jab. There does need to be that spite, that emotion, that raw, I'm going to take your head off mentality, just controlled and harnessed a bit, but not completely like, oh, I'm going to like he's talking about systematically breaking Chris Eubank Jr. down, and I don't know that he has that in his arsenal. I don't know if that's the strength of Conor Benn in this fight, is to be the better boxer. I don't know that he has that.
Systematically beat you. Oh, you like that word? Systematically beat you November 15th.
That's the biggest word I've heard you.
To right,
last 6
biggest word
months.
I've used personally. Yeah,
Congratulations,
no, I rate it.
Biggest word I've used personally, he said. Systematically. That's crazy.
Systematic
Thought I'd drop it
beatdown.
in there today.
Okay, well, how do I stop that from happening? I guess I just have to be even more vicious, even more ferocious, even more steadfast in my ability and my mindset. You know, my mindset going into that fight was, it doesn't matter what this kid does. It doesn't matter what he may or may not be capable of. I am not going to stop until I am pulled off of this guy. That was my mentality. It will be the same on November 15th.
Is there any way this doesn't turn into a dogfight? Last question.
No, I won't turn to a dogfight.
With the bad
Bullshit. Again, if that's Conor's mentality, you know, fair play. If he's going to go in here and try to outbox Chris Eubank Jr., I don't know. I feel like that takes away some of his best attributes, which are his ferociousness, his ability to win gunfights in close, in the pocket. I do think he needs to be more technical. I do think he needs to prioritize his jab and, you know, jab to range versus walking in and looking for strictly power. But I do think this does need to get into dogfight territory a little bit for Conor Benn to capitalize on what he has in this fight that I think he has maybe in a greater abundance than Chris Eubank Jr. has. And that's his power and his youthful and energy and explosiveness. He needs that in this fight. Throwing all that away just to be more technical, I don't know if that's the right answer.
blood. The feud. I mean, this was started off nice and calm, and it's turned
No,
into.
it's calm. No. It's calm, mate.
He's a new man.
It's calm, a new man. Exactly that. I'm a new man. Taught me a lesson there, Chris. I'm a new man.
You believe it?
He's calm now. He's
Yeah,
not
I'm
emotional.
calm. I like him now. I like him now. I'm going around in new roles because he's undisciplined. What do you mean? I cannot say thank you to the man. I am bowling a bat in a 500-gram motor because of you. Like, I cannot say thank you, Chris.
No, you know.
I'm grateful, mate.
He may truly believe that he has this new kind of outlook and feel and approach to me or the fight. That may be what he genuinely believes, but at the end of the day,
I'm gonna get in there and want to punch your head in, yeah, no doubt.
when that bell goes, and
Oh my God, Conor's too funny, man.
but at the end of the day,
I'm gonna get in there and want to punch your head in, yeah, no doubt.
when that bell goes and those fists start flying, I think that he will revert back to what he is, which is an emotional kid who gets caught up in the moment and will make those mistakes. Me being the...
Damn, that's a bit of a soul read, man. That is a bit of a soul reading right there from Chris Eubank Jr. And he's probably right, which is why I don't understand why Conor just doesn't embrace that side of him. Maybe not the emotional, you know, act on emotion only, swinging for the bleachers, quote unquote kid, but feed into your strengths. Be the destroyer. Be the guy going in there and looking to end the fight versus trying to outbox Chris Eubank, because he's going to prey on your emotions if you're trying to hide it. You will not be able to hide it in this fight. Every time you miss, or every time you try to be technical and you don't get off center line, you don't think Chris Eubank's going to make fun of him, do the Billy Joe Saunders, something. You can't let Eubank Jr. dictate how you fight based on the first time. Oh, it's all calm. We're good. I'm going to go in there and systematically. Can't do that. Not your strength. Again, in my opinion. Because then you're just trying to fight Eubank Jr.'s fight, and he's better at it.
experienced 36-year-old man that I am,
OAP.
I will be able to capitalize and take advantage of those mistakes. When I was 28, I'm never letting a 36-year-old man beat me. It doesn't matter who. The fact that you're 8 years younger than me, and I still did what I needed to do.
Yeah, your experience, well done. Yeah, it was experience.
That says a lot.
That was
But I
faster
always
than me.
knew
Was you
that.
stronger than me? No, you weren't strong. You punched like a girl. No, you never had me wobbled in there.
Well, boys,
Never had me wobbled in there. You were buckling.
when
You
was
were
I
buckling
wobbled?
all over.
Punch like a girl. Again. Oh my God. I swear if they weren't fighting, they'd have a great little reality TV series. He even got Chris to pop on that one.
Stronger than me? No, you weren't strong. You punched like a girl. No, you never had me wobbled in there.
well, boys,
Never had me wobbled in there. You were buckling.
when
You
was
were
I
buckling
wobbled?
all over. What do you mean? What, are you punching for there, mate? What are you talking about?
You never wobbled.
Now go on,
me.
you crop this and make a video
You
where you
caught
hit me
me with-
good.
you caught me
I
with
caught
punches.
you lovely.
For sure.
I caught
boys,
you
we're
lovely.
gonna have to
But
save something.
there's a difference
We're gonna
between
have to
wobbling
save
and
something.
I was
catching.
sweet, perfectly fine. See me, yeah? No damage at all. Straight back in the gym.
No damage at all.
Straight back in the gym.
Your life
Straight
was
back in
nearly
the gym.
taken out of
Are
you
taking
the 11th
piss?
and the 12th
Are
round.
you taking the piss?
You were-
I agree with Conor here. I saw him the week after this fight, and his face didn't even look like he'd been in a fight. And out of the two of them, if anybody looked like the life got taken out of them in that fight, it was Chris Eubank Jr. I mean, he looked like he got stung by a horde of bees. His face was so swollen. And yeah, Conor did wobble him, I think a couple of times in the fight. I will agree with Conor there.
On your last legs.
Are you taking the piss, Chris?
People saw it.
Are you taking
the
the piss?
world saw it.
But he's saying this, and Conor's getting frustrated because Chris is deadpanning him. And he said the world saw it. We did see it. Conor just has to believe what his mind is telling him is true. He doesn't need to convince Chris Eubank Jr. of it, which he keeps trying to do for some reason. Just believe yourself. Who cares what he thinks?
Well,
Round
boys,
three.
the
Just
world
watch
is
round
the
three.
world is going to watch the rematch live on the Zone, November 15th. Unfinished business. Chris Eubank Jr., Conor Benn. We could
Look at the way they're looking. Chris is smirking like, I got him again. And Conor is like, kind of frustrated, it looks like. Like, what the fuck is he thinking, saying he wobbled me? Still thinking about the last interaction. Meanwhile, Chris is like, I got him again. That right there, the way that they're looking at each other, symbolizes how this face-off went.
do this all day. I don't think you boys would.
Oh, what, we done now?
Stop.
Oh, mate, I'm just getting started, Chris. I'm actually enjoying this. I'm actually really
I
enjoying
think everybody watching in the room and at home is enjoying it. Guys, I cannot wait to see the rematch. I won't ask for
this.
a
You look so
handshake.
happy. I would give him a handshake, because I'm that sort
Listen,
of kind of gentleman.
I won't ask. I won't
don't
ask.
have
Now
to
you're
ask.
best
Yeah,
friends, I
sure.
won't ask.
Come on, come on. Yeah.
Thanks for watching.
We can all have a push and a pull.
You're a good guy, Chris. I can't wait to share a room with you again, mate.
I'll try to
Punch
be.
the living life out of you.
I tried to be. Kid.
Punch the living life out of you, he says. Okay, so yeah, this is another masterclass in mind games by Chris Eubank Jr. I mean, the guy just gets it. He just understands how to wind up Conor Benn, and it doesn't help that Chris Eubank Jr. beat him in the first fight, so now he even has more ammo. And he's doing it from both ends. He's like, yeah, you know, he was a tough kid, but he wasn't tough enough. And listen, if I was his age at 28, I'd never lose to a guy my age. The old man beating you up. And, you know, he can take all the shortcuts he wants, but I did it the right way. Even with the dehydration, he's just using all of it as ammo, and Conor Benn is, like, baffled by it. Anything Eubanks Jr. says, Conor Benn's like, what do you mean? No, that's not it. No, Chris, no. Listen, Chris, so emotional, and then acting like, no, it's good. Everything's fine. I'm fine. He just needs to let it go. Conor Benn, just be yourself. Don't worry about seeking the approval of Chris Eubank Jr. in every instance and every interaction. And almost that's what it feels like. He seeks the approval of Eubank Jr. And again, trying to be like Eubank with the mind games when we all know Conor Benn is a firecracker. Just be that. Your dad was that. You have that inside you. Just be that. Because the first fight was a good fight. And Conor Benn had moments that he could have taken control. But what you can't do in this second fight is try to be Chris Eubank Jr. You're trying to do it in these face-offs. You can't do that in the ring. Sure, be a little bit more technical. Sure, have a plan that starts with a jab and then ends with those different level attacks and that massive power that he's bringing to 160. But if you get too far away from what got you to this point, from the biggest qualities in your game, I think it's a mistake. Trying to fight like Eubank Jr. and be slick and technical and off the jab, I don't think is the right way. But you guys let me know what you think. This was a hilarious face-off. I cannot wait for fight night. It's only 10 days away by the time you guys are seeing this. Make sure you guys join me on the Saturday live. We're going to be hitting a watch party right here. But as far as who wins the rematch between Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn, I don't have those answers, but guess we'll find out.